we're now going to look at stitching around curves. So as much as I'd like to tell you that sewing is mostly sewing straight lines, it's not the case. It's particularly for garment making, because bodies are rounded and you need to contour around those lovely lumps and bumps. We're not square. So I'm going to teach you how to get a really lovely finish when you are stitching around curves. So when stitching around a curve, it's exactly the same process. We want to try and follow your seam allowance line. So in this case, I'm going with a 5/8 seam allowance. But as I stitch around this curve, you will notice that the angle in which the curve is on the fabric will stop this from being able to sit dead straight. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a pin here, because that is going to be my main focal point for this stitch. And all that matters is that this edge, the raw edge, meets this seam allowance at that point. It doesn't then matter what is happening here, and it doesn't really matter what's happening there, because this will angle off this way and that will probably angle off that way. So as long as it's meeting here, that's all that matters. So I'm going to pop my needle in. I'm going to do a couple of reverse stitches. I'm going to replace my needle there, and then I'm going to stitch this into position. I'm going to take it quite slowly. You can see that this is already starting to bend, but I'm not focusing on it. I'm just going to focus here. Now, if you find yourself in a position where everything seems to be sort of bunching up a bit, with your needle in, you can lift your presser foot and just realign everything to stop it from bunching. There we go. Okay, and it's exactly the same principle if you were doing a curve, a concave curve, but this is looking lovely. So by focusing on that pin and nothing else, I've ended up with a perfect seam.